Hello and welcome to you all. We are counting down to the T20 World Cup semi-final, and in many ways, as our viewers have been writing into us, it looks like the rerun of the T20 World Cup semi-final last time around when England took on India in Adelaide. That has been 2 years ago. I'll also be joined by former Indian cricketers Abhishek Nair and Ritendra Singh Sodhi. I'm joined by former Test cricketer Ashok Malhotra to look ahead to the game. The difference between last time and this time perhaps would be the rain factor. Let me get in Abhishek. Abhishek, thank you for joining us. My first question to Ashok, rain has been a very big part of the Super 8 stage. We've been kind of monitoring the rain prediction, and it looks like 40%, 50%. And if that happens, if the match is rained out, India is through to the World Cup final. But what are the thoughts really, and what would the players be thinking at this point of time, looking at the predictions minute to minute?
I think the way Indian team is playing, they would like to beat them fair and square. We don't want them to say, "Oh, the rain played a part and we reached the finals." I think all the players want to beat everybody fair and square and win the World Cup. So I've got no doubt in my game will take place. Maybe 10 overs. At the shorter the game, more difficult it might become for Team India. The 20 over it will be comparatively much easier, but if it is a 10 over game, 5 over game, then it might be, it can be anybody's game. But then the lesser teams become stronger and they threaten you.
Abhishek, that's exactly my question to you. In a rain Cottle's game, it could be anyone's game. It could be a minnow winning, going through and winning. And England is no minnow in this case, though they haven't really had a fabulous run in the World Cup. Would you say that would be India's big worry at this point, not having a full game rather than, having a shortened game or the match being rained out?
Well, I think if you look at both teams and you look at how they're positioned, England, like Ashok sir said, would want to play a shortened game because they've got a lot more power in their game. They've got lesser options in their bowling. India's got a lot more options. They've got spin options. So from that point of view, I feel England would be happy with a shortened game while India would want to play a longish game. And I think, any semi-final of a World Cup, you want to have a 20-over game. You want to make sure both teams have an equal opportunity to win a game, not when the toss becomes important. Because if it's a rained, interrupted game, then the toss becomes critical. If the toss becomes critical, then also keeping in mind that there could be rain around, the Duckworth-Lewis comes into the play. So I think there's so many permutation combinations, which is why when you're playing a World Cup semi-final, you wanted to keep it very simple and want to make sure that it's a 20-over game. So India will be playing for a 20-over game, whereas England wouldn't mind a 10 or 12-over game at all.
Ashokji, this World Cup, when we are looking at the stats, it has been a World Cup of the pacers. But, coming to Guyana, which is traditionally a track for spinners, would you say that dynamic tonight is going to change and we will see more of spin come into play? The likes of, Kuldeep Yadav, Moeen Ali, they will be the one around whom the match is going to revolve?
Definitely, Zorika. Because the thing is, when we were in America, then the medium pacer was coming to fray. Kuldeep didn't get a game. But now in West Indies, spinners are in the fray. Spinners are winning the games for them, like we won the last game strictly, the way Kuldeep Yadav bowled. So I think they will be in play. And Abhishek very rightly said, we have got all bases covered. We got two wonderful medium pacers. We got 3 top-class spinners. And not to forget, you have Shubman Dubey who can roll his arm over also. So we have all bases covered side. And I think spinners will definitely come in the play and we have, I think we are much, much ahead of England when it comes to spinners.
Okay, so Abhishek, let's hear about the matchups that you're looking forward to tonight.
Well, I think to start off with, it's going to be, for me, the critical part for England is George Butler and Phil Salt. So what I'm eager to see in how, someone like a Phil Salt and George Butler go about facing Arshdeep Singh and Jasprit Bumrah. I think that sort of, if we can pick a wicket up early, then England are going to be on the back foot. majority of the runs have been scored by the top order, which just tells you that the most important matchup in terms of which way this game goes is our two frontline fast bowlers versus their two frontline batters. So I think that for me is going to be one of the most interesting matchups. And then when you do a role reversal, for me it's going to be how the Indian batters play against an Adil Rashid. You look at the England lineup and you see the most important bowler for them has been Adil Rashid. So we managed to take him down. That bowling attack is going to be under a lot of pressure. So I feel these two matchups are going to be really important from my point of view.
Okay, Ashok ji, I'll have to ask you about Moeen Ali versus Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli doesn't have a very good record against Moeen Ali as yet.
See, Virat Kohli doesn't have a good record in this World Cup so far. So it might be his day. I'll still bet on Virat to do well against Kohli. But I think my thing is, as Abhishek said, Arshdeep and Bumrah will be more than handful for both Salt and Butler, because we both want to play expensive cover drives, which leaves a big gap in the bat and pad. So I think if you pick up early wickets too, especially Salt and Butler together, then I think it's a game set and match to Team India. So I think those first power play is going to be very, very vital for both the sides.
Right, and would you say if England loses both Butler and Salt, they might be tempted to promote Sam Curran?
I wouldn't say so. I'm not a big fan of Sam Curran, because whether it's batting, whether it's bowling, he's a average player, journeyman. I will not say he'll take the game away because he takes his time. So they might go with Moeen Ali. They can promote Moeen Ali, who can go after the bowling. But otherwise, Sam Curran, I personally feel I don't see him being promoted or be doing something out of the ordinary.
Ritinder, we are talking about the matchups tonight. One of the matchups probably we have still not spoken is Jofra Archer versus Rohit Sharma. Rohit Sharma, of course, has been in great form in this World Cup. But what do you think about this matchup and any other matchups that you would look forward to during this contest, India versus England tonight?
Look, I think the openers will be having tough time against our opening bowlers. If we talk about Salt and Butler, and if we talk about Arshdeep and Bumrah, and yes, talking about Rohit Sharma, Rika, in this form, he's dangerous. He's very dangerous, and I can assure you, the bowlers around, whichever, now we're playing England, or if we would have been playing anybody else, they would have been running because. In this form, Rohit, you can bowl some good balls, and you feel that these are the deliveries which can get you wickets. But he can whack you for sixes and fours, and that is what Rohit Sharma is all about. When he dominates, he does dominate, and I've been saying on our shows every day, in this form, he's the most dangerous batsman in the world, and now he has reached that form. So yes, Rohit Sharma form is much needed, and at the moment, if Rohit Sharma fires today, if Virat Kohli, God willingly, he gets runs, then I'm sure our lower middle order might not get a look in even.
Right, but are you completely...
Can I just add to that? Sorry, Rika, can I just add to that? I think what's going to be interesting between Jofra Archer and Rohit Sharma is, I have a feeling Rohit Sharma is going to have a lot of animosity towards him because they paid for him in the auction for 2 years. Jofra Archer didn't turn up for the Mumbai Indians, and today he's playing the World Cup for England. So I'm really interested to see how that dynamic works.
Yes, actually, I wanted to know how you react to all of you react to that. Abhishek, my question, it was a follow-up question I wanted to ask you. Really, let me ask you anyway. Jofra Archer, he has the franchise has splurged on him year after year after year. Do you think he's one of the most overrated cricketers going around in international cricket today?
For me, not at all. I think he deserved every penny. I think what is unfortunate is that the moment they released him, he's got fit. I feel that is the most unfortunate thing because Jofra Archer, we all know he possesses the skill of being a match winner, whether that be with the ball, and can also do that with the bat. So I feel, one of the reasons why England is looking threatening in the bowling is because of Jofra Archer. You minus Jofra Archer from that attack, this England attack is not the greatest attack. So I just feel he adds that dimension wherein he's got pace, he's got the slower ones, he's got a slower bouncer. So he's got everything that you require as a fast bowler. and which is what makes this England team slightly dangerous in their bowling, is Jofra Archer.
Okay, you say that Jofra Archer is going to lend that air of unpredictability, making England dangerous. But Ashokji, let me come back to you. Would it be Jofra Archer or would it be the England spinners that we are going to have to watch out for tonight, the likes of Rashid and Moeen, or would it again be going to be Jofra?
See, Jofra Archer is definitely frontline bowler, but the kind of pace he bowls, I think it's going to suit Rohit Sharma. He fences these kind of bowlers who are quick, who bowl short deliveries. He loves those. But I think I would say Adil Rashid definitely will be a threat, but we play spinners much better. Moeen Ali, yes, he can. He might bowl 4 overs. He might bowl 2 overs, and then you have got Livingston, who bowls in bits and pieces. But I think the main guy I still feel will be more than Jofra Archer, will be Topley, because he's a left-hander. Ball comes in, and because both the top order, they had bit suspect against the left-handers. Not somebody like Mitchell Starc, who goes for 24 crores, but otherwise these kind of pace suits Rohit Sharma. But when it comes to medium pacers who can swing the ball in, then they can be in trouble.
Yes, Jitendra, please.
I think I have a very strong feeling with what Rohit Sharma is in at the moment, what mood he is in, and the way he batted in the last game. Jofra Archer, as Abhishek has been talking, he can be a threat. Yes, he can be a threat. But I have a very strong feeling that he'll be clobbered for runs today, maybe 2 overs, 35 runs, then removed from bowling.
Well, what England has done with him in this World Cup is they have bowled him in the beginning and then bowled him in the death. So they have really split up his overs, and he's been quite effective in the death overs as well. When we spoke about India versus England, of course, a lot will hinge on what happens to the weather conditions in Guyana. Let's talk about the match, the semi-final that happened this morning. Absolute heartbreak, one would say, for Afghanistan. Abhishek, would you say that they were done in by a tricky pitch?
No, I think I said this in the morning as well, that I feel that somewhere in the excitement of winning that game to get into the semi-finals, sometimes what happens is you forget what you have in hand. And I just felt the celebrations around Afghanistan winning, when you're playing only a day or two after that, it gets hard to, again, restructure your mind, come back focused, because you just feel you achieved so much. Just the way, Rashid spoke, the way the players reacted, Gurbaz crying, there were so many emotions. It felt like they'd already won the World Cup. So I feel somewhere in their mind, they sort of limited themselves. Yes, the conditions play a role, but no matter how much the condition plays a role, you don't expect a team to get bundled out on 56. When that happens to a team, you sort of realize that they've been caught, in the storm. They didn't expect it. They anticipated a good game, but they weren't prepared for it at all mentally or skillfully, because South Africa were way too good on that given day.
Ashokji, would you also say it's the schedule that they had? They won the last match against Bangladesh, and then they travelled for this. And in between, they didn't catch enough sleep. They were some of the players. We saw those videos. They said that they were hungry. They wanted to eat. They wanted to catch some sleep. Would you say that the bodies were not recovered enough to take on the rigors of a match like a semi-final?
I'll go with Abhishek. Probably the mind was not there. That is cricket. From high, you come down to low. That is the name of the game. That is why we say cricket is like life. You are on high, and then you land on the ground. So that is exactly what happened. Then wicket also did play a part. It was a wicket where you have to be a little more clever, and they are not technically very good. They are good strikers of the ball. So probably that also didn't help their cause. And before they could wake up from their slumber, they were all out for 56. They are more or less out of the World Cup. But whatever they have achieved has done wonder, and they have done India a favor by beating Australia.
Well, yes, they have done India a favor by beating Australia, and they have had a phenomenal run in this World Cup. Who would have believed them to reach the semi-finals of the World Cup? And now that they are out, the team that has gone into the final, Ritendra, let's talk a little bit about them. South Africa, first time for them in a World Cup final. They must be euphoric too, and the euphoria might be hitting them as well. I mean, Ashok ji and Abhishek both said that it was being euphoric that acted negatively towards the winning momentum of the Afghanistan team. And what about the South Africans?
Yeah, Rika, look, Afghanistan did their job. They would not have even thought in their wildest of dreams that they will be playing the semi-finals of the World Cup and beating the top-notch teams. Yes, they had an off day, and as Abhishek said, as Shoki Paji said, they would have done better. The euphoria maybe did them in, and that they're in the semi-finals. But this is a team of whom we can hear a lot in the future, a force to reckon with, beating top-notch teams in the incoming days. But yes, South Africa, they were deserving winners, and they've reached finals. And yes, they will not take it easy. They will be right up there and waiting for today's result. It will be a top-notch game if India qualifies for the finals, which we all hope, fingers crossed. We still have to win those moments in these 3 hours today evening. Everybody's talking about India, but again, I'm waiting, because the pressure of semi-final is different. We all hope, we all sincerely pray, as you were praying when you were playing the finals a few months back against Australia, when everything was for India. Nobody was talking about Australia. So that shouldn't be a case. We have to give our best. We have to get runs on the board, get those important wickets. Form is with us, and I'm sure in these 3 hours today evening, we'll be through to the finals.
Ashokji, let me ask you a question about a word that is often used about the South Africans, which is choke. And they choke in big matches. Would you say this time around the choke factor didn't happen because Afghanistan a relatively easier outfit, or would you say that they have overcome the jinx of choke?
I think, Rika, this time they are mentally much tougher. If you look at it, it is not only Afghanistan. Other games, the close games, they managed to win. They used to lose those games. All of them. If you know 2-3 of them, which they should have lost, they managed to win. So they are mentally tougher. Probably the expectations are not that high. They are not like a England football team which always say, "Oh, we are the champions," and they never get anywhere close to the trophy. So I think mentally they are I think more settled. And then they have a team. They have somebody like Klaassen. They got somebody like De Kock. They somebody like Hendricks, and then in between David Miller, and not to forget they've got two wonderful spinners in Maharaj and Shamsi. So they have a team. They also got a team which has got all bases covered. Plus they're brilliant fielding. All in all, a wonderful side, and a side which is at peace with themselves. It is not they are not overhyped. Nothing of the sort has happened. So that is why they're playing well. And I think this might be the year of South Africa. Also, the way they have been winning matches, they surprised people.
Abhishek, do you concur with that? Might be the year for South Africa.
Sorry,
Abhishek,
I didn't hear you.
Abhishek, do you concur with those views? It could be the year for South Africa.
Well, I hope not. I hope it's our year. I honestly believe, I'm not just saying it because I'm an Indian, but I feel the stars have aligned for India to win. I truly believe that, South Africa's played well, but, I don't think they will win the final. If India plays South Africa, the stars have aligned for India to win this championship and Rahul Dravid to get the much needed farewell that it deserves.
Yeah, and I think farewells will be there for many, but let's not talk about farewell right now because we have 2 more matches to go. The first coming up tonight against England, and whether we'll have to see whether the weather gods hold up or not. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining me at this hour.
Thank you.